The Torah contains 613 mitzvot, commandments. The most famous of the commandments are the 10 commandments, sometimes known as the decalogue, which means literally the 10 divine utterances or sayings. These are the commands given by God to Moses at Mount Sinai, which Moses brought down the mountain engraved on 2 stone tablets, recorded in the book of Exodus and Deuteronomy. These 10 are the best known of all the commandments because they were the first commandments given during the theophany at Sinai, and because, in a brief, pithy way, they address the central issues of human behavior toward God and with fellow human beings. Just as they appear on the tablets with 5 commandments on each of the 2 tablets, the 10 commandments are designed in 2 equal parts. The first 5 commandments regulate conduct between humankind and God and how human beings are to relate to God. The second 5 commandments regulate conduct between people, how human beings are to relate to each other. Number 1. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt. This commandment establishes God's authority as lawgiver. The people had just witnessed and experienced God's power in bringing them out of Egyptian slavery. Now they are told to accept God's power and authority in giving them his law. 2. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make a graven image. The ancient world was filled with a multitude of gods, all claiming divine authority. The commandment instructs the people to ignore the claims of all the other gods and to know that the Lord God is one, singular, unique, alone. And unlike the other nations that make symbols or idols of their gods, the people are instructed not to make any image, picture, or physical representation of the physically invisible Lord God. 3. You shall not take the name of the Lord in vain. The people are told, if you are called upon to give testimony in legal proceeding, and if you swear in the name of God to tell the truth, then tell the truth. Do not invoke God's name, through which people will believe you are telling the truth, and then lie. Number 4. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. The ragtag band of recently freed slaves who had labored day after day, year after year without rest are told to set aside 1 day a week for physical and spiritual rest and rejuvenation. Number 5. Honor your father and your mother. The people are told, honor and respect those who gave you life and give you love. Always remember from where you have come. This commandment seems out of place in a series of laws that are between humankind and God, for the relationship between children and parents is a relationship between human beings. However, this commandment is considered the bridge commandment between the laws on the first tablet, the laws between God and humankind, and the laws on the second tablet, the laws between people. For honoring parents is like honoring God. The Talmud teaches that at the moment of conception, 3 are present: the mother, the father, and God. So the commandment insists, remember and honor your origins, the equal partnership of 3, your father, your mother, and God. 6. You shall not murder. 7. You shall not commit adultery. 8. You shall not steal. 9. You shall not bear false witness. 10. You shall not covet. In a few simple yet profound words, these second 5 commandments regulate relationships between human beings by insisting on the highest level of holiness, that people recognize and value the sanctity of human life in themselves and in each other, that they treat each with honor and respect, integrity and faithfulness, decency and dignity. These 5 commandments are listed in descending order of the importance of what one person can take away from another. Do not take away another person's life. Do not take away the extension of another person's life, his or her spouse. Do not take away another person's material possessions. Do not take away another person's honor, reputation, or good name. Do not even think about taking away anything that belongs to another person. The commandments were given directly to the people who stood at Mount Sinai with Moses, and also to those who are not standing with us here today. Deuteronomy 29:14. Every Jew, every human being, in every future generation, they belong to and are to be followed by every one of God's children throughout the generations as the sign and the seal of the covenant of faith, law, and love between God and humankind. There are 603 more Torah commandments, but in giving these 10, with their wise insight into the human condition, God established a standard of right and wrong, a powerful code of behavior that is universal and timeless. Enduring throughout the millennia, these injunctions are as relevant today as they were more than 3,200 years ago when they were first articulated. Because they contain universal precepts and enduring truth, these 10 commandments have been adopted by most of the Western world as basic religious and moral law.